In the last video, I set up Unity CLI from scratch and wired up Claude Code to drive it. If you haven't watched that video, you can check it out over here. In today's video, I'm going to put this setup to the test and see if it can do 3 of my hand-picked tasks. First, I'm going to ask it to add some packages and test the game by itself. Then I'm going to ask it to add some features and test it. And finally, I'm going to break some things on purpose and break it in ways that it cannot find it through code, because I'm going to make the changes inside the Unity editor, and then we'll see if the agent can fix it. So do you think it can do all these 3 tasks? Let's find out. So here I have my Unity CLI demo project open. I have the pipeline package installed and I have the Claude Code running right here inside the project folder. This is the exact setup from the last video, nothing extra. A fresh project with an empty scene ready to build in it. Now here, if I navigate inside Windows Package Management, Package Manager, go to my asset and search for starter asset. I know that Unity has a starter asset for third person for URP. So I'm going to prompt my AI agent to install this package and let's see if that works. All right. So here it seems like the Unity CLI package add. It could have actually added the package, but since my session has expired, it's not able to log in and it's not able to add it, which is why I have some options here. So for now, I'm just going to add it manually from the package manager. So it asked me for the login request and I have accepted the request. Now, since I've authorized the login, I'm going to tell the same here in the prompt. Okay, so it has opened the package manager and now it's asking me to find the starter asset third person URP. So I'm going to copy it, paste it over here and then download this package. Now, one thing to note here is that once you have this downloaded, so next time if you're using a project, so this package will be cached. What it means is that next time Unity CLI can directly import it from the cache. So for now, I'm going to import it manually. All right, so the package has been installed into my project. So which means that I can confirm that it has been imported. All right, so my AI agent has also confirmed that the starter asset has been successfully installed. Now the next step is to open the sample scene and understand it. So I'm going to prompt it to open the sample scene from the third person controller package and understand how the scene works. Now this is amazing. Look what the agent has done. It has gone through the entire scene. It has given me a list of all the game objects that are there and also some of the gaps. So if I scroll down and here it says that the gap that it found is that the player controller, it does not have the camera component. So if I click on this, you can see that some of the scripts are missing and that's because it needs some of the packages. And then it has given me an option to install it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, while that's getting installed, we can check out the data flow. And here it talks about how the data is flowing from the player input and how you can control the third person, move it around, and how the late update and some of the scripts are working. All right, so the agent has verified that it is working. It has installed all the missing packages, made sure that all the components are there. The project is clean and it is in the working state. And then it has also entered the play mode, made sure that there are no compile errors, and then exited it as well. Now, as a next step, I want to instruct the AI to add double jump, and let's see if it can do that. All right. So it worked for about 8 minutes and it tried a couple of times to go inside the play mode and test the double jump, but there was a delay between the tool getting the data from the editor, so it could not reliably determine whether it was working or not. But let's find out. So I'm going to press the play button and see if it works or not. All right, so I'm going to press space to jump and then space again for double jump, and it seems like it's not working, which is unfortunate, but no worries. We'll tell the editor to check it again and see if it can fix it this time. So it took about 2 minutes to fix it. Let's see if it works this time around. And there we go. And just like that, I'm able to double jump my character, which is really cool.
By the way, you can get the full Git repo with all the scripts and all the resources for free, not just from this video, but also for the videos from the past and the videos that are coming in the future. Just click on the link in the description to grab your free resources and add your email ID. So now, instead of building from zero every time, you can grab what's already done and keep moving forward.
Here's where this gets interesting. And I want to do this part myself by hand so that you know that I'm not setting up a trick. I'm going to break 3 things and I'm going to choose them carefully because each one of them is a bug that you cannot find by reading the code. There is no line in the script that's wrong. the problem lives somewhere inside the scene or in the settings somewhere the source file can't show you. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select the ground and I'm going to disable the collider for it. So now the platform still looks completely normal. It's still there. You can see it. But now if you press play, the player is going to fall down. So technically, if the AI opens the moment script looking for a bug, it's not going to find anything because the script is perfect. The problem is with just this one single set active to false. Now, the second thing that I'm going to do is going to change the layer from default to water. So again, even if we set the mesh collider to true, now since we have changed the layer to water, it means that the collider is not going to work and the character will be in a falling state all the time. So if you think about this one's actually nasty because there's no error, nothing turns red. So the player just quietly stops being able to jump or do anything. And the third thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to change the player settings. So I'm going to set the jump height to 0. So the code will be able to read this value. So that's fine. And yeah, I think this will find this bug pretty easily. So now that I've added 3 bugs and none of them are in the code, let's see if our agent can use Unity CLI and solve these problems. Now, when it comes to prompting, I'm going to deliberately misguide it by saying that the player keeps falling through one of the platforms and can't jump properly. Read the movement and platform scripts and tell me what is wrong. Now here, in just about 30 seconds, it kind of has a clue that it could be an issue with the scenes collider. So that's pretty interesting. And here it has started the diagnosis by actually starting the scene state. So here you can see the layer assignments, trigger flags, and collision metrics. So rather than guessing, so I think the AI agent along with the Unity's CLI is doing a good job here. Okay, in just about 2 minutes, it has identified 2 of the 3 bugs. First one is that the mesh collider is disabled, and second one is that the layers is set to water instead of default. And then it assumes that because of these 2 reasons, I'm not able to jump. And here it's asking me if I wanted to set it up properly. So I'm going to say yes, fix it and test it. Alright, in about 8 minutes, it found all the 3 bugs and fixed them by looking at the game and not by looking at the code. This is the difference between an assistant that suggests a fix and an agent that fixes the bug for you. It's not saying, try it and see. It's going back into a running game, checking that the thing is actually changed and solved the problem, and only then it reports back to me that it's done. Right there is the shift. For years now, Unity Editor is the only way we could see and debug by ourselves. But now the terminal can see it, the agent can see it, and that means AI can finally help us solve bugs that eat away our time that's not actually inside the code. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.